Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching. So today's video is going to be a voiceover. I know I haven't done one of these in forever, but the day that I filmed this video, I don't know why, I just wasn't in a chit-chatty mood. I was just in the mood to just sit down and chill and do my makeup. So are you checking out these awesome mugs that my sister got me one and my sister-in-law got me the other one? They're so cute, so I had to use both. So anyways, let's get started with the makeup look. Okay, so I'm starting out with my little travel go-to palette that I created myself, and I'm going in with the Makeup Geek eyeshadow Creme Brulee. I'm using a Morphe R37 brush, and I'm just putting this color all the way through my crease. As you can see, I'm starting from the outer edge, I'm working it into the inner edge, and I'm keeping the most product in my crease and then blending it up towards the brow bone and just building it up. Once I see there's less product on the brush, I'm going to fluff out those edges with a very light hand and also flick it out on the outer edge because we are going to be doing a winged eyeliner today. So now I'm going to pick up the color Tiki Hut, which is another Makeup Geek eyeshadow, and this is such a staple eyeshadow for me. It's literally the most beautiful, like, if you want your eyes to look really bronzed and summery, like, you need this eyeshadow in your life. So I'm using the same exact brush, and I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm putting this color directly on top of the Creme Brulee color. I'm not taking it as high as I took the Creme Brulee color. I'm keeping this a little bit more concentrated in the crease, but I'm putting it directly on top, and I'm also flicking it out on the outer edge, because again, we're doing the winged eyeliner. So switching over to my Lorac Pro palette, I'm going to go into this nice deep chocolatey brown color Sable, and I'm using a Morphe M518. As you can see, I'm kind of looking down and putting this brush directly in my crease and keeping this color right in the crease. I've really been liking this brush because it makes it really easy to lay down color directly in the crease while not giving a harsh line. It like blends it out for you. So I'm just building up this color and again keeping this more concentrated in the crease than the other colors, and then obviously flicking it out on the outer edge because we're doing a winged eyeliner for the third time. Now I'm just picking up the first brush that I started with, which was the Morphe R37, and just blending everything together to make sure everything is nice and seamless. I'm using whatever's left over on the brush. I didn't pick up any more product. Going back into the palette, I'm going to pick up the color Espresso, which is an even deeper brown than the last brown that we used. And I'm using a Morphe M507, and I'm going to use this to really define the crease. So basically all I've been doing this whole time is taking colors closer and closer and closer into the crease and keeping each color more and more concentrated in the crease. I'm using this little M507 to place the shadow down in the crease, and then I'm switching back over to the M518 to blend out the edges as you just saw me doing. I'm not putting this color all the way through the crease, I'm keeping it on the outer edges of the crease, like on the outer half of my eyes. I'm keeping this deep brown color. So now using the gold color from the palette, I'm going to go ahead and kind of cut my crease. These colors from the Lorac palette are so pigmented that you can literally do a cut crease with them without using concealer or anything underneath them because they're just that pigmented. So as you can see, I'm just carving out my eyelid and carving out kind of like the crease of my eye and then flicking it out on the outer edge. So now I'm going to move on to eyeliner, and I'm using the Bobbi Brow liquid liner in the color Bronze Sparkle. I love this eyeliner. It's beautiful. It's like a deep chocolatey brown but with glitter in it. It's amazing. So as you can see, I just initially start by flicking my line out from the outer edge of my eye, and then I drag it in, and then now you'll see me fill it in. I've talked about how I do my eyeliner quite a few times, so just go ahead and watch and enjoy. I'll be your inspiration, 'cause I know that you'll do just what you're told. I'll be your heart temptation. And I'm back. So now, oh my god, it's pouring outside. Do you hear that? So now I'm going in with the Urban Decay glitter liner in the color Midnight Cowboy, and I'm going to use a little applicator to just dot this all over my lid. I don't like to swipe when I use this because it does tend to pull off eyeshadow from your eye, and it kind of can look streaky. I like to use little patting motions to put this on all over the lid to give a nice glittery effect. You can put as much glitter as you want or as little glitter as you want. This day, I was in the mood for a lot of glitter, so that's what I did. So whenever I do this look, it is a little bit more glamorous than my other look. So I like to use a little bit more of a full coverage foundation. That's why I'm using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and I'm applying it with my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. Once I'm done putting kind of like an even layer across my face, I'll take a beauty sponge, which Olivia just recently ate mine, so that's what I'm stuck with right now because I hadn't bought a new one at this moment in time. So I just like to take the wet sponge and pat it in all over my face to pick up any extra product and to make sure everything is nice and seamless and airbrushed. So now I'm going to color correct a little bit using this little Smashbox color correcting stick. I have been loving this. I just put a couple swipes under my eyes where I tend to get darkness, and then using a little blender, a little wet blender, I like to pounce it in as you would with concealer or any other liquid product, and it blends out like a dream. It blends out so easy, and it's super brightening. So now I'm going to use the Nars Soft Matte Concealer. Whenever I do this look, I do like to do a little bit more of a full coverage concealer, and this one is very full coverage compared to my Tarte one that I normally use. I'm going to dot on a couple dots of this Sephora Gel Serum Concealer. You can totally skip this step. I'm just doing this because I have a little bit of a tan. So my Nars concealer is a little bit too light for me, so I needed to darken it just a tad. And now I'm using this little synthetic Morphe brush to blend it all out. Whenever I'm going for a more full coverage look, I'll always blend out all my cream products with a synthetic brush first and then go over it with a wet blender after, just to pick up any extra product. Whenever you blend out with a synthetic brush, it's always going to leave more coverage than if you do it with a beauty blender, because beauty blenders tend to pick up a little bit more product than brushes do. So now I'm just patting over my whole face to make sure there's no excess product on my face and I don't look cakey. So now I'm going to go ahead and set some areas of my face using the new FitMe powder from Maybelline, which is amazing. I've been using the color 10 and it works perfect for me. So I just like to use a wet sponge and go right underneath of my eyes where I tend to get creasing, and down the sides of my nose where I tend to get a little bit oily. I just like to press it in with the wet beauty blender, and that's really all that I do. So now I'm using my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Powder and a Morphe E6, I believe. Is it an E6? An E3. A Morphe E3 to pat this in along the perimeters of my face and down my neck, just to set that foundation into place and give just a little bit more coverage. So now I'm switching over to the MAC Strobe Cream, which I have really been loving lately, and I'm using this little mini Real Technique sponge to press it into my skin. I have found that I have to use like a mini sponge to do this. When I use a big sponge, it's too hard to keep it concentrated in that exact area where I need it. So this little sponge makes applying my liquid highlight so much easier. I don't know if it's that I just have like a small face or what it is, but when I try to apply liquid glow in specific areas of my face with a regular size sponge, it's really hard for me and it gets really messy. So this little sponge has made it so much easier to do. So now for bronzer, I'm using one of my favorites, which is Nars Laguna, and I'm using this little Japanese brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and bronze up my face. In my last video, I kind of pressed it into my face on top of my liquid contour, on top of my cream contour, I'm sorry. But since I didn't do a cream contour here and I set my whole face with powder, I can totally swipe and blend because powders blend easier on top of powders. So now, right now, in this video when I was filming this, I had kind of an intense tan going. So the Nars Laguna bronzer wasn't warm enough for me, so I took a little bit of MAC Gimme Sun and put that right on top to just add a little bit more warmth to the face. So normally with this look, I would use L'Oreal Gilded Honey, but I'm switching it up, and I'm going to be using this Colourpop highlighting palette because I really hadn't played too much with it, and it's really awesome. I mixed those two colors together, and I mean, just look at that glow, guys. Like, it's beautiful. It's really nice, but let me just tell you guys that if you're somebody that likes a nice, soft, subtle glow, this palette is not for you. These highlights are really bright. They're very beaming. Like, you have to be in some type of mood to wear any of these highlights. As you can see, my face is like on fire right now. Literally on fire. And look at my Cupid's bow. Always putting too much on Cupid's bow. What's new? So going into this little Nars palette, I'm going to use the second blush in the palette, which I believe is called Angel 2. And I'm using my Morphe M530 brush, which is my new favorite blush brush. It's like literally the best thing that ever happened to me when it came to blush. It makes it so easy to put on your blush. A bit of the Mario Badescu spray, I'm just setting all my makeup into place, and I'm going to start up onto the under eye area. So I'm picking up the color Tiki Hut one more time, and I'm using my Morphe R41 brush, and I'm just going to smoke out my entire lash line from outer edge all the way to the inner edge. Now I'm going to pick up the color Sable from that Lorac palette, and my Morphe M508, and I'm just going to start to further deepen the lash line. I'm keeping this color on the outer half of my eye. I'm not taking it all the way in. And then for eyeliner, I'm going to use the Shadow Stick from Beauty For Real in the color Midnight Marathon, which you guys know I love. It just gives the most beautiful, bronzy, glowy look to your eye. Like, I'm obsessed with this as eyeliner. I use it so much. So taking this Kat Von D Alchemist palette, I'm going to go into the color Pink Opal and highlight my inner corners just to give a little pop of color to this look. Since everything is so bronzed and brown, I wanted to add a little bit of color. In this video, you can't really see the pink that much. I don't know why, but in person it was so pink. I don't know what was going on. So I did my eyebrows and I threw on some lashes, which are the Koko lashes in the style Queen Bee. And for lipstick, I'm using the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the color London. And here's the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If you want to see my other go-to summer look, which is a little bit more understated, it's not so glamorous. I will link it below so you can check it out. But as always, I hope to see you guys in my next video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe. I will see you guys soon. Bye.